Jump to content. Main menu. Main menu. Move to sidebar hide. Navigation. Main page. Contents. Current events. Random article. About Wikipedia. Contact us. Contribute. Help. Learn to edit. Community portal. Recent changes. Upload file. Search. Search. Appearance. Donate. Create account. Login. Personal tools. Donate. Create account. Login. Pages for logged out editors. Learn more. Contributions. Talk. Contents. Move to sidebar hide. Top. 1 Etymology. 2 Function. 3 Symbolism. 4 Mythology and position in the pantheon. 5 New Kingdom cults. 6 Chief goddess of Nome. 7 References. 8 See also. 9 External links. Toggle the table of contents. Nephthys. 63 languages. Afrikaans. Azerbaijanka. Bosanski. Brezoneg. Katala. Etna. Dansk. Deutsch. Easti. Epsilon lambda lambda eta nu iota kappa. Español. Esperanto. Euskara. Francais. Kylch. Hrvatski. Bahasa Indonesia. Italiano. Latina. Lietovi. Magyar. Bahasa Melayu. /Ming DNGNG. Netherlands. Norsk Boekmal. Occitan. Polski. Portuguese. Rom. Siciliano. Simple English. Slovenina. Slovenina. /Srpski. Srpskrvatski / Suomi. Svenska. Turks. Tingvit. Edit links. Article. Talk. English. Read. Edit. View history. Tools. Tools. Move to sidebar hide. Actions. Read. Edit. View history. General. What links here? Related changes. Upload file. Special pages. Permanent link. Page information. Cite this page. Get shortened URL. Download QR code. Expand all. Edit interlanguage links. Print/export. Download as PDF. Printable version. In other projects. Wikimedia Commons. Wikidata item. Appearance. Move to sidebar hide. Text. Small. Standard. Large. This page always uses small font size. Width. Standard. Wide. The content is as wide as possible for your browser window. Color. Beta. Automatic. Light. Dark. This page is always in light mode. From Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. Ancient Egyptian goddess. For the catworm genus, see Nephthys. Nephthys. Nephthys was normally portrayed as a young woman, wearing a headdress in the shape of a house and basket. Name in hieroglyphs. Major cult center. None specifically, Dios Polis Parva. Symbol. The sacred temple enclosure. Genealogy. Parents. Geb and Nut. Siblings. Isis, Osiris, Haroeris, and Set. Consort. Set, Osiris, Horus, in some myths, 1 Anubis, in Nubia, 2. Offspring. Anubis, Wepvaat, Horus, in some myths, 3. Nephthys or Nebet-Het in ancient Egyptian, CTFD Greek, Nu Phi Theta Upsilon, was a goddess in ancient Egyptian religion. A member of the Great Ennead of Heliopolis in Egyptian mythology, she was a daughter of Nut and Geb. Nephthys was typically paired with her sister Isis in funerary rites because of their role as protectors of the mummy and the god Osiris, and as the sister wife of Set. She was associated with mourning, the night/darkness, service, specifically temples, childbirth, the dead, protection, magic, health, embalming, and beer. Etymology. Edit. Nephthys is the Greek form of an epithet, transliterated as Nebethut, Nebethet, Nethet, from Egyptian Nbtwt. The origin of the goddess Nephthys is unclear, but the literal translation of her name is usually given as Lady of the House or Lady of the Temple. This title, which may be more of an epithet describing her function than a given name, probably indicates the association of Nephthys with one particular temple or some specific aspect of the Egyptian temple ritual. Citation needed. Along with her sister Isis, Nephthys represented the temple pylon or trapezoidal tower gateway entrance to the temple, which also displayed the flagstaff. This entranceway symbolized the horizon or Ake. Function. Edit. Nephthys Musée du Louvre, Paris, France. At the time of the 5th dynasty pyramid texts, Nephthys appears as a goddess of the Heliopolitan Ennead. She is the sister of Isis and companion of the warlike deity, Set. As sister of Isis and especially Osiris, Nephthys is a protective goddess who symbolizes the death experience, just as Isis represented the birth experience. Nephthys was known in some ancient Egyptian temple theologies and cosmologies as the helpful goddess or the excellent goddess. 5. These late ancient Egyptian temple texts describe a goddess who represented divine assistance and protective guardianship. Nephthys is regarded as the mother of the funerary deity Anubis, in Pu, in some myths. 6-7 Alternatively, Anubis appears as the son of Bastet 8 or Isis. 9 In Nubia, Nephthys was said to be the wife of Anubis. 10. Though usually considered the aunt of Horus, she often appears as his mother. She is also seen as a wife of Horus. 11 As the primary nursing mother of the incarnate pharaonic god, Horus, Nephthys also was considered to be the nurse of the reigning pharaoh himself. 12 Though other goddesses could assume this role, Nephthys was most usually portrayed in this function. In contrast, Nephthys is sometimes featured as a rather ferocious and dangerous divinity, capable of incinerating the enemies of the pharaoh with her fiery breath. 13-14 New Kingdom Ramesside pharaohs, in particular, were enamored of Mother Nephthys, as is attested in various stelae and a wealth of inscriptions at Karnak and Luxor, where Nephthys was a member of that great city's Ennead and her altars were present in the massive complex. 15. Temple decoration at Dendera, depicting the goddesses Isis and Nephthys watching over the corpse of their brother Osiris. Nephthys was typically paired with her sister Isis in funerary rites because of their role as protectors of the mummy and the god Osiris, and as the sister wife of Set. Less well understood than her sister Isis, Nephthys was no less important in Egyptian religion, as confirmed by the work of E. Hornung 16 along with the work of several noted scholars. Ascend and descend, descend with Nephthys, sink into darkness with the night bark. Ascend and descend, ascend with Isis, rise with the day bark. Pyramid text utterance 222, line 210-17. Symbolism. Edit. Isis, left, and Nephthys, right, as kites near the bier of a mummy, 13th century BCE. In the funerary role, Nephthys often was depicted as a kite or as a woman with falcon wings, usually outstretched as a symbol of protection. Nephthys's association with the kite or the Egyptian hawk, and its piercing, mournful cries, evidently reminded the ancients of the lamentations usually offered for the dead by wailing women. In this capacity, it is easy to see how Nephthys could be associated with death and putrefaction in the pyramid texts. She was, almost without fail, depicted as crowned by the hieroglyphs signifying her name, which were a combination of signs for the sacred temple enclosure, WT, along with the sign for NB or mistress, lady, on top of the enclosure sign. 18. Nephthys was clearly viewed as a morbid but crucial force of heavenly transition, i.e., the pharaoh becomes strong for his journey to the afterlife through the intervention of Isis and Nephthys. The same divine power could be applied later to all of the dead, who were advised to consider Nephthys a necessary companion. According to the pyramid texts, Nephthys, along with Isis, was a force before whom demons trembled in fear and whose magical spells were necessary for navigating the various levels of Duat, as the region of the afterlife was termed. Mythology and position in the pantheon. Edit. Nephthys on the outer coffin of Anquenifer. Though it commonly has been assumed that Nephthys was married to Set and they have a son Anubis, recent Egyptological research has called this into question. Levy notes that while Plutarch's De Icide et Osiride mentions the deity's marriage, there is very little specifically linking Nephthys and Set in the original early Egyptian sources. She argues that the later evidence suggests that, while Nephtys's marriage to Set was a part of Egyptian mythology, it was not a part of the myth of the murder and resurrection of Osiris. She was not paired with Set the villain, but with Set's other aspect, the benevolent figure who was the killer of Apophis. This was the aspect of Set worshipped in the western oases during the Roman period, where he is depicted with Nephthys as co ruler. 19. It is Nephthys who assists Isis in gathering and mourning the dismembered portions of the body of Osiris after his murder by the envious Set. Nephthys also serves as the nursemaid and watchful guardian of the infant Horus. The pyramid texts refer to Isis as the birth mother and to Nephthys as the nursing mother of Horus. Nephthys was attested as one of the four great chiefs ruling in the Osirian cult center of Busiris in the Delta 20, and she appears to have occupied an honorary position at the holy city of Abydos. No cult is attested for her there, though she certainly figured as a goddess of great importance in the annual rites conducted, wherein two chosen females or priestesses played the roles of Isis and Nephthys and performed the elaborate lamentations of Isis and Nephthys. There, at Abydos, Nephthys joined Isis as a mourner in the shrine known as the Osirian. 21. These festival songs of Isis and Nephthys were ritual elements of many such Osirian rites in major ancient Egyptian cult centers. As a mortuary goddess like Isis, Neith, and Serket, Nephthys was one of the protectresses of the canopic jars of Hapi. Hapi, one of the sons of Horus, guarded the embalmed lungs. Thus we find Nephthys endowed with the epithet Nephthys of the Bed of Life 22 in direct reference to her regenerative priorities on the embalming table. In the city of Memphis, Nephthys was duly honored with the title Queen of the Embalmer's Shop and there associated with the jackal-headed god Anubis as patron. 23. Detail: Funerary stele of Saba. Osiris is flanked by Isis and Nephthys. New Kingdom, c. 1250 BCE. From Memphis, Egypt. Neues Museum, Berlin. Nephthys was also considered a festive deity whose rites could mandate the liberal consumption of beer. In various reliefs at Edfu, Dendera, and Bibite, Nephthys is depicted receiving lavish beer offerings from the pharaoh which she would return using her power as a beer goddess that the pharaoh may have joy with no hangover. Elsewhere at Edfu, for example, Nephthys is a goddess who gives the pharaoh power to see that which is hidden by moonlight. This fits well with more general textual themes that consider Nephthys to be a goddess whose unique domain was darkness or the perilous edges of the desert. Nephthys could also appear as one of the goddesses who assists at childbirth. An ancient Egyptian myth preserved in the papyrus Westcar recounts the story of Isis, Nephthys, Meskenet, and Heket as traveling dancers in disguise, assisting the wife of a priest of Amun-Re as she prepares to bring forth sons who are destined for fame and fortune. Nephthys's healing skills and status as direct counterpart of Isis, steeped, as her sister in words of power, are evidenced by the abundance of faience amulets carved in her likeness and by her presence in a variety of magical papyri that sought to summon her famously altruistic qualities to the aid of mortals. 24. New Kingdom cults. Edit. A mummy rests on a sacred boat guarded by Anubis. Above, figures of Osiris, Isis, and Nephthys. Sandstone stela. From Egypt, 332 BCE to 395 CE. Kelvin Grove Art Gallery and Museum, Glasgow, UK. The Ramesside pharaohs were particularly devoted to Set's prerogatives and, in the 19th dynasty, a temple of Nephthys called the House of Nephthys of Ramesses Mariamon was built or refurbished in the town of Sepermeru, midway between Oxyrhynchus and Heracleopolis, on the outskirts of the Fayum and quite near to the modern site of Deshechet. Here, as Papyrus Wilbur notes in its wealth of taxation records and land assessments, the Temple of Nephthys was a specific foundation by Ramesses II, located in close proximity to, or within, the precinct of the enclosure of Set. To be certain, the House of Nephthys was one of 50 individual, land-owning temples delineated for this portion of the Middle Egyptian district in Papyrus Wilbur. The fields and other holdings belonging to Nephthys' temple were under the authority of 2 Nephthys prophets, named Penmer and Mary Bars, and 1, mentioned, Wahab priest of the goddess. While certainly affiliated with the House of Set, the Nephthys temple at Sepermeru and its apportioned lands, several acres, clearly were under administration distinct from the Set institution. 25 The Nephthys temple was a unique establishment in its own right, an independent entity. According to Papyrus Wilbur 26, another House of Nephthys of Ramesses Mariamon seems to have existed to the north, in the town of Su, closer to the Fayum region. Another temple of Nephthys seems to have existed in the town of Punagem. The Papyrus Bologna records a complaint lodged by a prophet of the temple of Set in that town regarding undue taxation in his regard. After making an introductory appeal to Re-Horact, Set, and Nephthys for the ultimate resolution of this issue by the royal vizier, the prophet, named Pra-Imhab, laments his workload. He notes his obvious administration of the House of Set and adds, "I am also responsible for the ship, and I am responsible likewise for the House of Nephthys, along with a heap of other temples." 27. As Nephthys of Ramesses Mariamon, the goddess, and her shrines were under the particular endorsement of Ramesses II. The foundations of the Set and Nephthys temples at Sepermeru finally were discovered and identified in the 1980s, and the Nephthys temple was a self-sustaining temple complex within the Set enclosure. 28. There can be little doubt that a cult of Nephthys existed in the temple and great town of Heracleopolis, north of Sepermeru. A near life-sized statue of Nephthys, currently housed in the Louvre, boasts a curiously altered inscription. The basalt image originally was stationed at Medinet Habu as part of the cultic celebration of the Pharaonic Sed festival, but was transferred at some point to Heracleopolis and the Temple of Harishef. The cult image's inscription originally pertained to Nephthys, foremost of the Sed festival in the Booth of Annals, at Medinet Habu, but was reinscribed or rededicated to Nephthys, foremost of the booths of Heracleopolis. A prophet of Nephthys is indeed attested for the town of Heracleopolis in the 30th dynasty. 29. Chief goddess of Nome 7. Edit. Triad of Isis, Nephthys, and Harpocrates. Early Greco-Roman. Walters Museum. Nephthys was considered the unique protectress of the Bennu bird. This role may have stemmed from an early association in her native Heliopolis, which was renowned for its House of the Bennu temple. In this role, Nephthys was given the name Nephthys and a wealth of temple texts from Edfu, Dendera, Fili, Kamambo, Lqa, Esna, and others corroborate the late identification of Nephthys as the supreme goddess of Upper Egyptian Nome 7, where another shrine existed in honor of the Bennu. Nephthys also was the goddess of the mansion of the Sistrum in Hwt Chem, Dios Polis Parva, the chief city of Nome 7. There, Nephthys was the primary protectress of the resident Osirian relic, of the Bennu bird, and of the local Horus/Osiris manifestation, the god Neferhotep. 30. Nephthys was most widely and usually worshipped in ancient Egypt as part of a consortium of temple deities. Therefore, it should not be surprising that her cult images could likely be found as part of the divine entourage in temples at Karga, Kelis, Deir el-Hagar, Coptos, Dendera, Fili, Sebenitos, Biziris, Shenhur, Lqa, Letopolis, Heliopolis, Abydos, Thebes, Dakli Oasis, and indeed throughout Egypt. 31. In most cases, Nephthys found her typical place as part of a triad alongside Osiris and Isis, Isis and Horus, Isis and Min, or as part of a quartet of deities. References. Edit. Levy, Jessica, 2007. Aspects of the goddess Nephthys, especially during the Greco-Roman period in Egypt. UMI. Levy, Jessica, 2007. Aspects of the goddess Nephthys, especially during the Greco-Roman period in Egypt. UMI. Levy, Jessica, 2007. Aspects of the goddess Nephthys, especially during the Greco-Roman period in Egypt. UMI. Jump up to abelshahhoebooks.google.co.uk. The Funerary Art of Ancient Egypt, A Bridge to the Realm of the Hereafter, 106 pages, American University in Cairo Press, 2005. ISBN 977-17-2353-7. Retrieved December 12, 2011. Wilson, P. 1997. A Ptolemaic Lexicon, a lexicographical study of the texts in the Temple of Edfu. Ola. Volume 78. Wainwright, G.A. February 1941. Shet and the Pharaoh. The Journal of Egyptian Archaeology. 26, 3040. doi 10.1177/0307513340026000105. S2CID 1922542249. Champ, Virginia, 2007. The Ancient Egyptians. Marshall Cavendish. p. 27. Geary, Hedvig, 2003. Onatopos in Egyptian Medical History. Enema, A.K. ed. A. Delta Man in Yebu. Universal Publishers. p. 219. Redford, Donald B. November 1967. The Literary Motif of the Exposed Child, CFEX 21-10. Newman. Volume 14, Number 3. Pages 209-228. The discussion of Isis as the mother of Anubis appears on pages 222-223. Levy, Jessica, 2007. Aspects of the goddess Nephthys, especially during the Greco-Roman period in Egypt. UMI. Levy, Jessica, 2007. Aspects of the goddess Nephthys, especially during the Greco-Roman period in Egypt. UMI. Kitchen, K.A., ed. 1993. Ramesside Inscriptions. Blackwell. Sonaron, Elephantine, Byte Rage BF6, 46 ND. Full citation needed. Tronecker, Karnak 7, 184 N2, Colville, S.A., 152 N.7. Full citation needed. Porter, B., Moss, R. eds. Theban Temples. Topographical Bibliography of Ancient Egyptian Hieroglyphic Texts, Reliefs, and Paintings. Vol. 2, 2nd ed. Oxford, UK. Lloyd, A.B., ed. 1992. Versuchuber Nephthys. Studies in Pharaonic Religion and Society in Honour of J.G. Griffiths. London, UK. Pages 186-188. Citebook, CS1 maint, location missing. Publisher, link. Follner, R.O., ed. 1969. Ancient Egyptian Pyramid Texts. Oxford, UK, Oxford University Press. James P. Allen, Peter de Manulian, The Pyramid Texts SBL, 2005. Levy, Jessica. Nephthys and Seth, Anatomy of a Mythical Marriage, paper presented at the 58th Annual Meeting of the American Research Center in Egypt, Wyndham Toledo Hotel, Toledo, Ohio, April 20, 2007. http://www.alacademic.com/meta/p1768997_index.html. The Book of the Dead, Theban Recension. Byron S. Ailey Schaefer, Dieter Arnold, Temples in Ancient Egypt, p. 112, 2005. Tomb of Tuthmosis III, Dynasty 18. J. Berlandini, p. 41-62, Varium Emphitica, 6, La Stele de Parahiraunameif, Buffeo 82. A. Gutbub, J. Bergman, Nephthys découvert dans un papyrus magique in Mélanges, Publications de la Recherche, Université de Montpellier, Montpellier, France, 1984. Land tenure in the Ramesside period by S. Kateri, 1989. Section 1. 28. Papyrus Bologna 1094, 5, 8-7, 1. Les Dièses de l'Égypte pharaonique, Arlachad, 1992, de Rocher Champollion. Forgeot, Pretre Isiacs, Buffeo 84, 155-157. Sonaron, Byte Rage BF 6, 46, C. Tronecker, Le Temple d'Elcale. Relevis des scenes et des textes. I Sanctuaire Central. Sanctuaire Nord. Salle des Offrandes 1-112. Buffeo website. See also. Edit. Happy, son of Horus. 287 Nephthys. External links. Edit. Media related to Nephthys at Wikimedia Commons. Show. V. T. E. Ancient Egyptian religion. Beliefs. Afterlife. Creation myths. Isfit. Mot. Makru. Mythology. Numerology. Osiris myth. Philosophy. Soul. Practices. Canopic jars. Embalming ritual. Funerals. Mortuary temples. Offering formula. Opening of the mouth. Pyramids. Temples. Veneration of the dead. Deities. Ogdoad. Amun. Amunit. Howhet. Het. Coquette. Kek. Naunet. Nu. Enniad. Adam. Geb. Isis. Nephthys. Nut. Osiris. Set. Shu. Tefnut. Triads. Theban triad. Aati. Acre. Okti. Amenhotep. Son of Hapu. Amsmi. Amit. Amhat. Amuaa. Anat. Anjeti. Anhur. Anput. Anubis. Anuket. Apdemoc. Apep. Apis. Apt. Aken. Irensnuppies. Ash. Assessors. Astart. Aten. B. Bobby. Bainjadet. Bastet. Bat. Bata. Bapef. Bennu. Bes. Butchies. C. Cavern deities. D. Didun. Dionysus Osiris. F. Four sons of Horus. G. Gate deities. H. Ha. Happy. Hather. Hatmhit. Oran. Hittite. Hetihotep. Hika. Heman. Hemsit. Henit. Heket. Hermanubis. Harishaph. Hesat. Horus. Harpocrates. Hu. Iabet. Ea. Iat. Igai. Ihi. Ikemusk. Imentet. Imhotep. Ipi. Iunit. Ihusaset. K. Kibichet. Kenzit. Kenti Amantiu. Kenti Kiti. Kepri. Kurdi. Knum. Kansu. Kother Wa cases. M. Mahis. Ma'at, Mafdet, Mandulus, Medjt, Mehen, Mehetwarit, Mehit, Menhit, Merit, Meritsager, Meskanet, Min, Naviz, Montu, Mut, N, Nebthetepet, Nechawai, Nefertum, Neekau, Name Tai, Neith, Nekbit, Nemti, Neeper, P, Pk, Parrot, Petby, Te, Q, Kabi, Qed her, Kh, R, Ra, Reed Tai, Regeet, Ram, Renanutet, Renpit, Renpit Nefrit, Ripit, Rashab, S, Sa, Satis, Sebiamikar, Sekar, Sikamet, Serapis, Circuit, Shed, Shai, Shed, Shesmitet, Shesmu, Sia, Sobug, Sopde, Sopdu, Souls of Pe and Nekan, T, Taitanen, Taarat, Tate, Tabitje, Thoth, Hermes Trismegistus, Tijaneniat, Tudu, U, Unut, W, Wajet, Wajwer, Weneg, Webset, Webvaet, Warathiko, Worit, Creatures, Aeni, Abtu, Griffin, Hierarchosphinx, Medjt, Serpapard, Shat, Sphinx, Urias, Characters, Dedi, Jajamank, Redajet, Ubaner, Locations, Eru, Ake, Benben, Duet, Land of Manu, The Indestructibles, Symbols, and Objects, Ankh, Ataf, Cartouche, Corn Mummy, Crook and Flail, Crown of Justification, Dishrat, Djed, Egyptian Obelisk, Egyptian Pool, Eye of Horus, Eye of Ra, Heedjet, Hemam Crown, Henu, Horus on the Crocodiles, Hypocephalus, Imiat Fetish, Capriche, Neph, Manat, Nebu, Neems, Neshmit, Ouroboros, Chint, Scarab, Sarug, Shenring, Solar Bark, Tyet, Ashabdi, Vulture Crown, Was Scepter, Winged Sun, Writings, Amduate, Books of Breathing, Book of Caverns, Book of the Dead, Book of the Earth, Book of Gates, Book of the Heavenly Cow, Book of Traversing Eternity, Coffin Texts, The Contendings of Horus and Seth, Enigmatic Book of the Netherworld, Great Hymn to the Aten, Litany of the Eye of Horus, Litany of Re, Pyramid Texts, Spell of the 12 Caves, Festivals, Beautiful Festival of the Valley, Cattle Count, Coronation of the Pharaoh, Min Festival, Opet Festival, Sed Festival, Related Religions, Atenism, Gnosticism, Hermeticism, Kemetism, Mysteries of Isis, Temple of Set, Thelema, Ancient Egypt Portal, Show, Authority Control Databases, International, VIAF, National, Germany, People, DDB, Other, IDREF. Retrieved from https://n.wikipedia.org/w/index.php Title equals Nephthys and olded equals 12558502246. Categories. Nephthys. Alcohol goddesses. Childhood goddesses. Deities of wine and beer. Egyptian death goddesses. Health goddesses. Magic goddesses. Night goddesses. Avian humanoids. Falcon deities. Tutelary goddesses. Mother goddesses. Hidden categories. Pages using the WikiHiero extension. All articles with incomplete citations. Articles with incomplete citations from March 2020. CS1 maint, location missing publisher. Articles with short description. Short description is different from Wikidata. Articles having same image on Wikidata and Wikipedia. Articles containing ancient Greek, to 1453, language text. All articles with unsourced statements. Articles with unsourced statements from June 2022. Commons category link from Wikidata. This page was last edited on November 6, 2024, at 23:51 UTC. Text is available under the Creative Commons Attribution Share Alike 4.0 license, additional terms may apply. By using this site, you agree to the terms of use and privacy policy. Wikipedia registered trademark is a registered trademark of the Wikimedia Foundation, Inc., a non-profit organization. Privacy policy. About Wikipedia. Disclaimers. Contact Wikipedia. Code of conduct. Developers. Statistics. Cookie statement. Mobile view. Edit preview settings.